Number 10. Dr. Malcolm Perry, along with other medical personnel who operated on President Kennedy, have stated that the bullet came from the front. They were trained in treating trauma patients and bullet wounds. Oswald's alleged gun, the 6.5 millimeter Mannlicher Carcano, was not a high-powered rifle and is extremely inaccurate. With a telescopic scope on the weapon, the shooter would have to reposition the rifle after each shot because of the massive recoil. Number 9. During his time with the Marines, Oswald only qualified as a marksman, which was considered rather poor. If he had actually been a good shot, he would have been drafted to the 303 Infantry, but instead he was a radar technician learning Russian. With his knowledge, it would have been nearly impossible for Oswald to fire those 3 shots in 6.3 seconds. Even experts that the Warren Commission hired were not able to successfully complete the task. Number 8. 10 squad cars and a media crew showed up at the local movie theater to arrest Oswald. They didn't know he would be there. A worker had called saying a man entered the theater without purchasing a ticket. Several former government officials, including E. Howard Hunt, have come forward with the story of what really happened on November 22, 1963. Hunt has stated that the operation to kill President Kennedy was codenamed the Big Event. Number 7. Oswald was interrogated for nearly 12 hours, yet there were no recordings made. The few notes taken were later destroyed, and a lawyer was not present, even though Oswald repeatedly asked for legal assistance. The Lincoln limousine, which Kennedy was shot in, was in Detroit being refurbished the Monday after the assassination, on November 25, 1963. This was done before forensics could even touch it. Number 6. At the time Kennedy was assassinated, Dallas police officers, among other investigators, found Oswald's alleged rifle hidden behind some boxes on the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository. After it was swept for prints, several were found on the rifle. Later, it was concluded that under 6 grooves made by the finger and palms imprinted on the gun resembled Oswald's. At this time, federal law said that 6 to 12 must be in relation to the defendants for it to be used in court. As we all should know, Oswald never made it to court. He was gunned down very shortly after the death of President Kennedy by Jack Ruby. Number 5. President Kennedy's body was illegally moved from Parkland Memorial Hospital in Dallas to the Bethesda Naval Hospital by Secret Service agents. Even though it was the president's body, this was still against the law at that time before an autopsy was performed. Elm Street, the street Kennedy was killed on, is a 120-degree turn. Standard Secret Service motorcade protocol allows a maximum of a 90-degree turn. Number 4. Most people in Daley Plaza, Dallas, Texas, on that fateful day, heard the shots come from the front and right of the president. This would explain why his head jerks back and to the left in the Zapruder film. These witnesses also include police officers who rushed up the grassy knoll looking for the shooters. Many close friends and family members of Oswald believe he is innocent. This includes both his mother, Marguerite, and his wife, Marina. Number 3. The standard grouping for a presidential motorcade is called the wedge position, which protects the president from all sides by the Secret Service and police officials overseeing the motorcade. On the day of the assassination, Kennedy's limousine was placed in the sitting duck formation. This left him unprotected and an easy target. Although the president has control over most matters, when it comes to his security, he has no jurisdiction. The Secret Service are in charge. On the day of the assassination, Oswald was picked up by a fellow worker at the Texas School Book Depository. He noticed that Oswald was carrying something under his arms that was covered in paper wrapping. The worker asked him what it was, and Oswald responded, "curtain rods." Those who believe Oswald acted alone think the 6.5 millimeter Mannlicher Carcano was what he was carrying. This has been proven false. Even when taken apart by the Warren Commission and condensed into its smallest form, the gun still does not fit into any packages made to replicate the original. Number 2. Recent acoustic and psychological tests concluded that Oswald was telling the truth when he told the press, "I'm just a patsy." Paper trails and family members confirmed that Oswald was in 2 different places at the same time. Many people are aware of the fact that there was someone else using the same identity. Early in Lee's life, his tonsils were removed. Sometime after Kennedy's assassination, Lee's alleged body was dug back up. The body found had its tonsils remaining. During a post-mortem of Oswald's body, several scars his wife Marina remembered seeing on his body had vanished. The mortician made note of this. Number 1. Experts have asked to examine bullet fragments allegedly found in or near JFK's body. One of these men was astonished when not a single trace of blood or human tissue was found on the ammunition. A quick point to mention is that the blood and brain matter ejected from JFK's skull sprayed backward. Some even ended up on the 2 police motorcycles positioned directly behind him. This alone, along with the frames of the Zapruder film, almost prove he was shot from the front and from the right. It has been confirmed that both Jack Ruby, the man who killed Oswald, and Lee Harvey Oswald both knew each other. This is something the Warren Commission either decided to ignore, or they lied about it, saying there was no connection between the two. Like these top 10 videos? Subscribe by clicking the annotation.